Wonderful. Well, Suzanne had asked me today to talk with all of you about some seasonal summer maintenance options. And I have to say that I am guilty of not following the #1 summer maintenance option, which is wearing a bunch of sunblock when I was at the beach with my family the other day. So I won't be going live today. You'll just be seeing my static picture, but hopefully that'll help us focus a little bit more on the content. So just like your car, your home needs a tune-up seasonally and to keep it running the way that you want it to and to maximize your efficiencies and help you enjoy each season. So for us, when we think of the summer for my family, we would like to be spending it doing something like this. We're out on the water, maybe we're doing some yoga, taking a nice hike. The #1 tell in my family that it's summer is not so much the weather, but it is, if you look on the far bottom right of your screen, it's that terry cloth shirt that my husband brings out every summer and doesn't leave it for June and July, except for when he's on a film shoot. He has a small video production company. We're doing Zoom Live. So that's my indication that it's summer in our house. And the way that we can have our ideal summer versus pulling our hair out like this when we've got all these maintenance emergencies is we have a very simple game plan in our family and at LiveSimpli and at RentSimpli, and we call it following our CCRs. Now, what comes to your mind when I say CCR? Some of you might think about your homeowners association or different real estate CCRs, but for us, there's a lot of Creedence Clearwater Revival. This is how we also kick off our summer. We're doing our very best to infuse quality music into our young son's life. He's 6 years old and he asks us for Stuck in Lodi on repeat. So Creedence Clearwater Revival is, of course, a great rock band and is one version of CCRs. But what I'm going to ask you to think about today is a little less sexy, is maybe a little less fun, but just as important, is our CCRs for our seasonal home maintenance. And so it really comes down to things on your home that you need to check, clean, or repair. So there's some pretty big buckets, but I'll take you through our top level recommendations specifically for summer. I mean, we could do a whole series on getting your home ready for winter, spring, and fall, but today we will focus on summer and I'll take you through 3 different buckets. The first one, easy maintenance, things that you can literally do within 30 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes, as soon as we hang up on this call today. And then there are some more projects that are about, hours, maybe 2 to 3 hours long, depending upon if you want to do it yourself or hire somebody. And then there's the tougher tasks that we'll talk about that often require a seasoned professional to come to your home. So let's dig into this. For our #1 easy summer maintenance thing that you can do today is be aware of what mode your ceiling fans are in. Now, I didn't know this for years, but most ceiling fans have a summer mode and a winter mode. And when you're in winter mode, it is set to rotate in a way that it's sucking up the hot air and then dispersing it at your ceiling level. And that's great for winter. But what we don't really want that for summer. We want to set it in reverse, which will push the air down, creating a nice breeze. And so some of you might be thinking, well, how do I tell which way my ceiling fan should go in the summer? And the majority of you will have ceiling fans that need to spin counterclockwise in order to cool you down. And I know this might sound a little obvious, but if you simply turn on your fan and stand underneath it, if you don't feel a breeze coming in your direction, then it's likely in winter mode and you just need to switch it to summer mode. So how do you do that? On your ceiling fan, you will have one of 2 options or maybe even both, but you can look above your blades and there should be a motor switch that you can control and push it up or down. Most of them will have summer mode in the down position, but again, there's so many different makes and models that I don't want to assume that there's one catch-all. So just test it. Or on your remote control, you'll have a button there that you can switch the modes as well. So this is the easiest thing that you can do to help circulate the air efficiently in your home and make a quick change to get ready for summer. And I should preface this too. For today's talk, I know it's June 28th, so we're already into summer. So ideally, most of these things that we're talking about today, it's really great if you can think about doing these in May. And there's still time, you know, summer isn't over, but if we really want to get ahead of things, think about doing these things in May, and I'm happy to give you the checklist after this call. Okay. So the next really easy thing that you can do, and it's so important, is let's talk about our smoke alarms. So according to the Burn Institute, roughly 2 out of 5 fire deaths happen in homes that have no smoke alarms, or they have smoke alarms that aren't working. And that's just tragic, because this is a really easy but life-saving home maintenance thing that you can do. And it takes less than 5 minutes to complete by simply finding your button. You just push it, and you want to make sure that it's beeping. If it's not beeping, then something's wrong there, and you need to either reset the batteries, change them, and do the test again. And if you don't hear the beep, then you might need to change your entire system. So these smoke alarms really need to be swapped out every 10 years, and you can find the expiration date on there. It's really important that you do this. And if you really want to be aggressive with your home maintenance, you'll actually test this every single month. And in summertime, swap out your batteries. You'd want to do your battery swap out at least twice a year. And fun fact, you might see here throughout our presentation, you'll see some of our team members at LiveSimpli. This is Teresa and her beautiful daughter, Sydney. So she was sharing with the team that in San Diego, the Burn Institute actually has a fire safe senior program. So if you are a San Diego homeowner and you are over 62 years old, the Burn Institute may qualify you to come out and not only install smoke alarms in your house, but they also provide the unit to you for free. So it's a really great program that I encourage everybody to look into if you qualify for it. It's so easy to do, and it's life-saving. A couple other things to consider on your smoke alarms: please don't paint them. I know that some of you, they may be offensive to your eyeballs. I have some clients in our luxury home division that are asking me to paint all of their white smoke alarms to the color of the paint in their home, and I won't do it because that paint can actually erode the efficiency of the detector. And so that's not worth the aesthetic. So there are different options. If you're really sensitive to the aesthetic of these, you can buy them in different colors, or a sand color, or something that complements your home more, but please don't paint them. Okay. Next on our list is carbon monoxide. So I don't mean to be doomsday here, but carbon monoxide is the silent killer. We know that hundreds of people die accidentally each year from carbon monoxide poisoning that's caused by either malfunctioning or improperly used fuel burning appliances that we all have in our homes. So JAMA, which is the Journal of American Medical Association, says that carbon monoxide is the #1 cause of poisoning deaths. And again, this is an easy fix. Just like our smoke alarms, you want to press that button and make sure that you hear a chirp followed by loud beeps. If you don't, take out the batteries, which we're suggesting that you do anyways twice a year. Summer's a perfect time to do it. Put the batteries back in and redo the test. These units don't last as long as your smoke alarms. Their typical lifespan is 5 to 7 years if you haven't purchased them in a while. However, some of the new carbon monoxide alarms have a 10-year sealed battery that actually doesn't require changing. At 10 years, you replace the entire unit. But I encourage you, take a look at it, figure out what the expiration date is, and maybe have a cheat sheet that tells you, okay, my smoke alarm expires on this day, my carbon monoxide alarm expires on this day, and check them throughout the house. You should have one of these on every single level, and put it in your calendar. We're all pretty used to calendars now, and if you're here, then you know how to use Zoom and you know how to read your calendar invites. So just make an invite for yourself on when these need to be A, the battery swapped out, and B, the whole unit that needs to be replaced. Okay, again, this is a very easy but life-saving home maintenance tip that everybody should be doing this summer. Next on our easy list, these on the far left, you're seeing this big kind of black circle. This is a component of your kitchen sink. If you're really fancy, you call it a baffle. But us other regular people like myself, we just call it a splash guard. And you would be surprised at how much food and waste builds up in these splash guards and how simple it is to, some of them you can just pull them straight out very easily and clean them. And others you need to kind of put some muscle into it and get underneath your sink. If you're not able to easily pull it out, one tip and trick is create some vinegar ice cubes. They're perfect for just grinding up in the garbage disposal when you turn it on and getting rid of any smelly residue that you may be smelling in your kitchen. And if you are smelling anything bad, then it's time to put some vinegar down there and clear it out. And Sandy, who's our operation manager, and she does all things maintenance. She handles the entire maintenance department. If any of you are our current members, you've probably spoken with her many times, but she has a neat little trick that she does. She says, let's not get fancy, just go to the dollar store and get an inexpensive toilet scrubber, one that you would use for the toilets, label it for kitchen sink, put your cleaning preference on it, whatever it is, vinegar, or if you don't mind chemicals, something that has chemicals in it, and you just plunge it. And she does that once a month. I mean, yes, we need to do this every summer, but she's very, very clean. She will tell you that. So she just uses her kitchen sink toilet plunger, and it works just fine for her. If after doing that, you're still experiencing a smell or buildup, then it might be time to call a plumber, or you can call us and we can help advise you on that. But again, this is really easy. Everyone should do this today. Make sure you give your sink a break and help it to smell a little bit better. Next on our list are screens. Screens build up a lot of dirt and residue over the season. So at the summer, we want to give them a nice bath. And there's a couple of ways we can do this. So on the far left, you're seeing this gentleman who looks very happy in his collared shirt to be vacuuming a screen. If we should all look that happy when we're vacuuming our screens, that's a really easy way to do it without having to take anything apart, and it will get some of the dust and the dirt up. The other option is for your flat screens like windows and doors and patio doors. Typically you can take them off. And I say that with care because you have to be really ginger with these aluminum frames. They're very sensitive. So you take them off, treat them like an egg, very sensitive, and get some hot soapy water and use a sponge to just kind of dab at it and get all of that dirt off of there. Let them dry completely before putting them back on. And it's also important to check your screen for holes. You know, we've got kind of insects and critters and all those little freeloading guys that may make their way into your home if we have holes in our screens, which we don't want. And it also affects your airflow. So if you do have holes in your screens, there are some vendors that will repair them, but honestly, the screens are so economical now that it would be a cost benefit to you to simply replace them. Okay. And then while you're there, I don't have this on the slide, but it is always great to check and make sure that your windows are still sealed. So we're not creating any drafts in the home as well through our windows. Okay, let's go to another one. Pipes. This is a big one. So now we're getting into, we kind of have gone away from our easy stuff. This is where we get into our potentially hours-long projects. But the pipes are a big one for you to check at your house, especially right now when everybody is being asked to conserve water and during the drought. Leaky pipes are really a bank breaker. They'll hike up your water bill. They could ruin your lawn. They could cause mold and mildew in your house. So you really want to be aware of if you have any pipe leaks. And there's kind of the on your own test that you could do. I mean, you could just feel your walls for wetness and check your water pressure. That's one way to do it. But another way, if you want to do this on your own, which you could do today without even calling a professional, is make sure every single thing in your home that generates water is turned off. Turn it off and then head outside and see if your water meter changes at all. Your water meter will have little gadgets that kind of spin. And if they're spinning or moving at all, or if they've changed, then you likely have a leak somewhere. And what you want to do first is, if you have a gardener, ask your gardener to check the sprinklers. Oftentimes sprinklers are a big culprit of anything leaking. If your gardener comes out and checks the sprinklers and they can't find anything, then you yourself go check your toilet overflow. Are any of your toilets running? Are they running longer than normal? That would be your second clue. If that isn't happening, okay, now it's time to call in a plumber and let's get a leak diagnostic in place. It's really important to be checking this. And another fun tip from Sandy, which she does, is she has her water company, she has an alert on her bill. So she can actually receive a text message or an email whenever there's usage that's going above and beyond her typical usage each month. And so it's nice to get that alert because you've got other eyes looking out for your water source and how much you're using. And that could really help you with being proactive and fixing anything with your home before running into huge bills that are required when we've got leaky pipes and things breaking. Now, this is the biggie, your cooling system. I cannot tell you or stress enough how important it is to get an annual tune-up on your cooling system. And typically you do want to do this in May prior to high heat season, but there's still time. And it's important that you do this every year. I mean, there's nothing worse than a 100-degree day without your AC. I think we were almost at 100 degrees yesterday, so I hope nobody was without their AC yesterday. But you want it working, you want to do it ahead of time. And also, you know, science does tell us that adults sleep best when the room is between 60 and 67 degrees at night. So keeping your bedroom cool is just another reason why you want to keep your HVAC in tip-top shape. And this is not something that really we can do as lay people. This is really requires a professional technician to come out and service the HVAC. Again, I'm going to encourage you to do it every May. And if you haven't done it yet, there's still time. Please do it this month. They'll come out, they'll clean your duct systems and filters. They'll check your Freon, they'll tighten everything. You really want to give your cooling system some TLC in the summer and do it in advance of high heat season. I can tell you just today, I was watching some of the repair requests come through our system, and Sandy can attest to this. I think we received 6 requests just within 2 hours this morning for air conditioning unit repair. And it's hard because it's high heat season and the vendors are busy and you might be out of luck. It could be a week or 2 weeks before anybody's able to service you. One summer it was 3 weeks out. So again, if you do nothing else from this presentation, please put in your calendar May 1, schedule an HVAC tech to do your annual tune-up. It's really important. We don't want to wait until something malfunctions to have a technician come out to keep your system running as it should. And it's also really important to change your filters. That's an easy one. Sandy's tip is to change them every 6 months. Unless you have high winds or fires, then it should be every 3 months. And a note for some of our members, if you are a current LiveSimpli member, part of our seasonal maintenance package right now is we want to deliver filters for your home every 6 months. So you just have them on autopilot. So if you haven't talked to Sandy or Teresa about your filter size, this is just a little plug. Please call us and let us know your filter size so we can get you on the rotation to get your filters. Okay. So now we're running into some of the tough projects. So your roof is a big one. You've had all year to let the rain hit it, the sun hit it, any kind of weather and wind, it just gets everyday wear and tear and it can hurt your roof. So now is a great time for you to check for missing shingles or mold or anything that might hurt what we call the head of your home. And you also want to look for warping or cracking or any other damages, okay? So it's better to make small repairs each summer than spend thousands of dollars to replace the whole roof. And this is something that, sure, you can get up on the roof and look at it yourself. You are welcome to do that, and it might be a good first test, but it would really be of value to you to have a professional roofer do a tune-up and let them check for all the loose or missing shingles. And while they're there, they can add checking the chimney and skylights and vents for proper sealing. Let them kind of do all that to make sure that the head of your home is really safe. And around that, there's a couple other things too. You ever notice how close the trees are to your roof or your home? It's really important to cut those trees back, not just for the safety of your home, but also it's fire season. So the less dry vegetation we have, the better. So we want to protect your home in two ways and really cut those trees back. And then also your gutters. You can see in the bottom left here, there's a lot of stuff that accumulates in our gutters all year long, and they really deserve a nice clean out. We really only want water in there. We don't want pine needles, which I'm guilty of at my house. I'm sure they're fraught with pine needles right now, and leaves and bugs and all these other things. And Susan on our team, I know she has a picture of cats here instead of her face because she fosters cats and loves cats, and we're not really supposed to call her the cat lady, but I don't think she would take offense to it. So this is Susan's super suggestion. Consider putting screens on your gutters. There is a company, and we are not affiliated with them at all. We just love their product. It's called LiveSimpli. And they will actually come and place screens on your existing gutters. And so that way only water is allowed to flow through there and none of the debris. This is our last big group for some of the larger tasks that you can do in the summer. It's a really good time to repair your deck or your patio. You want to check for any boards on your patio that are losing their strength, may have water damage, may have mold. This is the time to give them a little TLC too. You can give the whole surface a good scrub, power wash it, you can seal it, or even do some sanding. Just put in a little bit of elbow grease and you'll be ready for that outdoor barbecue. And one suggestion that I have, and again, I'm not affiliated with this company at all, but there is a new product out there and it's from Acre. And they do decking materials. They also do siding. And what's really interesting about this material, in full transparency, I haven't used it yet, but I'm really excited about it. It's manufactured without harming a single tree. It's made out of rice hulls. So there was this company, they call themselves Acre, and they realized, what is the purpose of a rice hull? It keeps the rice dry and it keeps it away from any mold as well. And it's in excess. We have all these holes hanging out that nobody's using. Let's make a product out of it. So they have made this alternative to wood, an alternative to vinyl out of rice hulls, and it's a zero waste environment for your deck and for your siding. And I can't wait to get my hands on it. I've heard really good things about it. I listened to that show, Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer, on AM 640. It's a great show if anybody's interested in all things home maintenance like I am. And he was recommending this. So I really listen when Dean makes a recommendation. So something to check out if you're in the neighborhood to repair your deck or maybe do some new siding. We also want to clean up the landscaping. This is a big one because an overgrown lawn, it can lead to animal and bug infestations. It could choke out your existing plants. If you're trying to sell your home in this hot market, it can reduce your curb appeal. So really encourage you to make the most of these long summer hours by putting in the time to do some mowing, weeding, and caring for your yard, and also create that defensible space. I mean, this is the time of year when your grass and your plants and your shrubs, they begin to dry out and they create a huge fire risk. So for your safety, as well as the curb appeal, let's remove all that dead vegetation and all of that combustible material from at least 30 feet of your home. Okay, and so that also includes any trees or branches that may be growing near or above your roof or your chimney. It's really important. And the last thing on here is do a nice walk around your home and check the exterior. You want to check the paint, the siding, the cement, see if anything is cracking. And really kind of evaluate what condition it's in. Is there damage that needs to be taken care of right away? Do you have cracks in your cement that are more than a nickel thick? It's probably time to seal that, hone it, and get it repaired before any further damage is done. This can go for your driveway as well. Anything that has the ability to crack, we want to repair or repaint. And there's a lot of reasons to do this. Number one, if you repaint, it's a great defense for termites. I don't know if your home in your neighborhood has a termite problem, but painting your home is one of the greatest defenses that you can do. And also, when you take care of these cracks in the paint, you're also eliminating some opportunities for algae and mildew to show up and live in these environments. So I recommend just take a lap around your house, check for any problem areas, and see what you can do to repaint, recaulk, and clean, so that we can avoid, spending all this time working on the home when we should be on vacation or hopefully enjoying your grandkids and spending more time at the beach. And so if all of these things on your summer checklist, I know the easy ones are pretty easy, but if the projects that take a few hours or even the bigger ones, if you're thinking that you might be too busy to evaluate your home and put some measures in place to take care of these summer maintenance checklists, you always have the option of hiring a professional, whether it's us or somebody else. I do want to share that we have a program for our members. The entry program is called our Contact Program. And this is ideal for those who are just seeking some help with needed maintenance. So anything to do with plumbing, electrical, your major appliances, or your heating and cooling. If you want to be able to just call somebody when you have a question or when you actually need a repair, then you can call us anytime and let us know what's going on with your home. We have a dedicated maintenance department that is ready and willing to take your phone call, help diagnose with you on the phone what's happening. And if possible, we'll troubleshoot with you, because potentially we can just give you some suggestions and that might fix the problem right then and there. If we can't, then we will look at our preferred vendor network. We only work with licensed vendors. They are not in-house. They are their own companies, and that keeps everything competitive from a price perspective as well as performance. So we'll check our vendors to see who's available, and then we dispatch and we follow up. So it's a very simple process. Everybody in our membership has the ability to call our hotline or use the online portal, because some of you might not want to talk to a human. Maybe you just want to submit a repair request online, and you can do that very easily. This is an example of what our online portal looks like. You just put what's happening, select some times, and then we'll let you know who we can coordinate and when they can be there. So at the end of the day, here is a summary of our summer maintenance checklist that I'm hoping you can all find some value in. And if anything, check out the easy spots or call us if you need some more help with the projects that are an hour long or even the tougher tasks. And with this, I will turn it back over to Suzanne.
That was really excellent. Man, I got some things on my to-do list.
I hope so.
Really, really good. So I want to open it up to members. If there is anybody who has a question for Melissa. Actually, Melissa, could I ask you to spend a couple of minutes describing again your service with the initial point and then the referral, coming in the first two levels?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Let me go back here. So we have the first level, it's what we call our contact plan. And we call it that because it's really meant for members who just want to have a valued partner by their side when an emergency arises, or not even an emergency, maybe when something small happens. Like this morning, I know we were working with a member whose refrigerator wasn't working. And so he called in and asked us, what can we do about the refrigerator and who can we get out there? So this is really for seniors aging in place that may not have, a wide network of trusted vendors to be able to call when an issue arises. And they just want somebody by their side that they can trust to help facilitate this home maintenance management. So what this monthly membership gets you, we have a discounted price of $99 for our UCSD friends. It's a 20% discount. So it's $99 a month. And what that gets you is access to our 24/7 maintenance department that you can call at any time, like I shared. We'll also set you up in our online portal. And because it is summertime, thank you, Suzanne, for the reminder, we're also doing a seasonal preventative maintenance walkthrough. If you would like us to come to your house and just check things out, we won't be facilitating any repairs at that time, but we can at least do a seasonal maintenance walkthrough walkthrough, which typically is reserved for our next tier plan, but we do want to offer that to all of our contact level members for summertime in honor of this presentation. And also we're including the filter delivery. Filters are so easy to forget about, and we want to make it easy for you. So we'll come, and during that walkthrough, we can even measure your filters for you and take note of how many that you have. And then we'll get you on a rotation to get those shipped to you every 6 months. So again, at our contact level, we are your partners. We're here for you. You have access to this dedicated maintenance department hotline 24/7, or you can submit your repairs via your online portal. And then if I will let you all peek behind the curtain, just close your eyes and please don't look at my backup slides. I will pull up our other plan here. And here it is. Nope, no, not that plan. Okay, here's our cruise level plan. Okay, so this plan is a little bit more robust. So this is for members who are seeking the as needed maintenance request, but also folks who really would like some support in managing the recurring monthly maintenance. So maybe you have a housekeeper, or you have the pool guy, the pest guy, the folks who take care of the landscaping. You're juggling anywhere from 3 to 10 vendors to keep your home up and running. Well, with LiveSimpli, we will take on the task of coordinating with all of the vendors that service your home. And we also consolidate all of the billing. So we not only make sure that they're there when they're supposed to be, but we also pay them every month, which they like, because we're very, I want to use the word rigid, but that's not the right, that's kind of pejorative. That's not the right word. We're very systematic with when we pay our vendors, and we pay them on time, and they like that. And so they want to work with us, and it helps build that relationship. And then our members just get one bill every month. So instead of having to keep up with, anywhere from 3 to 5 maintenance bills for their service technicians, they just get one from us. We take care of it all. And then we include seasonal maintenance. So we will get you on a schedule after reviewing your home to say, okay, this tree that we talked about near the roof, we really need to watch that. And we want to come back and check that 4 months from now, and let's get it on a tree trimming schedule. Anything that is specific to your house that we can look at that we know is going to need some attention each season, we'll book those alerts on our calendar, and we will coordinate the maintenance of that for you. So this is a little bit more robust. It's a little bit more expensive. It's $299, but then we are giving a 20% discount in perpetuity for our UCSD friends. And again, this is for folks who want not just that maintenance hotline or just contact us when they need us, but you really want somebody effectively managing your home with a bit of a heavier hand and a bit more involved, so you could just free up your life and be focusing on other things, knowing that your home is really well taken care of.
Super, super. That was a great overview. Thank you for that. We have a question from Ron Campnell. Ron, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you have contacts that do energy assessments, because a lot of us are experiencing higher SDG&E bills. And I know there's specialists out there that will do an assessment of your home situation. Have you encountered that before? And do you have contacts that do those kind of assessments?
Ron, that's a good question. We don't have a specific, energy consultant that I've worked with before, but what we do have are our general contractors that will come out and they'll check some of the things I went through in this presentation, like are all of your windows sealed, things like that they can help you with without a huge, solar project. But you are inspiring me. I probably should get somebody that is a specialist in energy conservation and see if they'd be willing to do some home walkthroughs on our members' behalf to see where they could advise you to go in that realm.
I've seen this on TV, like HGTV segments I've seen where they do something to seal up your home, and then they can tell if like cold air leaks, for example, when you turn on the air conditioning. Things like that. But I think we're all looking at ways that if we invest, it's a issue of risk reward too, but if it's worth the money to put into different things like new windows or other maybe lower cost items that can help with our energy savings. That, but it's kind of hard to. I've gone out and looked for local companies. I haven't really found anybody, but maybe they're out there that we don't know. So,
Yeah, it's probably a new frontier, and it's some that deserves some attention. I mean, right now my brain goes to several different vendors who work on different components of the home. For example, there's this gentleman, Bjorn, he works with Adams Engineering. They do all of the boilers. I think he's like one of the only specialists that really serves high-end boiler systems in San Diego.
Are you talking about hot water heating or?
Right, he does the hot water heating, but he will look at the flow, and he also looks at airflow. So they're all tied together. So
Yeah.
so it would be interesting to find somebody that really does an energy conservation assessment of your home. I don't know one person that would do that and then make different recommendations, but there's got to be somebody, you know. It's just like when Suzanne reached out to me about putting a program like this together. There's a need for it, and I think there's people that have the skill set and that are doing it in some roundabout way. It's just not their discipline that's advertised as their specialty.
I'm also wondering about things like lighting too. If, you know, like people like me that have high ceilings, I thought I've replaced all of my bulbs with more energy efficient bulbs, but also, you know, you wonder, am I getting the best lighting situation, you know, for my home, or could it be improved? Because I think lighting's another area where things have changed a lot, with certainly within the last few years, you know, with the decline of incandescent bulbs.
Definitely. I have a client who I just did their summer maintenance, and part of that was to change out all of the bulbs. And they have a huge, you know, boiler room, the 3-level home over in La Jolla, and have this really beautiful state-of-the-art boiler room down below. But the home is about 25 years old, and we're finding that the bulbs have changed tremendously. So there are lighting specialists that can come and advise on that based on what you're looking for. And they can advise on how warm do you want your lighting to be? Do you want, I think it's the Danes, they have what's called the, I'm going to say this terribly wrong, but the Hygge, Hyyggie, Hygge effect, where you want a cozy atmosphere. So they can advise on how you want to feel, as well as the energy consumption for the different bulbs that they have.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Okay. Question from Fran Shepard. Go ahead, Fran.
Yes, Melissa, do you offer a one-time fee for someone to come out and go through our home and check our roof and our irrigation and that kind of thing? Like a $99 fee for a home inspector or something like that?
Right now it's included with our membership, but if that's something you're interested in, we could coordinate that for you. I'm open to that.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, other questions from other members? Give everybody a minute to be thinking.
Everybody's ready to go to the beach.
Yeah, I think so. So I think it looks like we've covered all the questions, and I thank you so much, Melissa. I think this was a really, really excellent talk, something we very much needed to address. So thanks for your time. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, some thank yous from other members. We really appreciate this.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.